Well, God bless you, my friend. This is Hemi. Listen, I have a special message for you today. I want to speak to you today from the subject embrace your calling. Embrace your calling. And this is really part one, and I don't know how many parts we're going to do to this. We're going to do as many as I believe the Most High is leading to be done. I want to say to you that sometimes we marvel about the things we've been through. Sometimes we marvel about the mistakes we made. Sometimes we marvel about the fact that we're still here. That all the things that we've been through, we're still here. Is that you? Have you ever marveled? I want to let you know, my friends, that despite what you've been through, the Lord is still calling you, and you are to embrace your calling. I want to look at Moses, the narrative of Moses, and we're going to see how Moses embraced his calling, and he did what the Lord had called him to do, and he led the children of Israel out of Egypt into the promised land. And I don't know about you. I don't know about you, but I believe the Lord is saying, hear me. Despite what you've gone through, you're still here. And part of what you're to do is to lead my people out of bondage into their promised land. Are you ready to go into your promised land? Let's look at the story of Moses. Moses in Hebrew is Moshe. Moshe, and it comes from the Mem, the Shin, and the Hay. The Mem means water. The Shin is a picture of the teeth, but it symbolizes destruction. And the Hay means to behold. And Moses, it means that he's drawn out one. And you know the story of Moses, how he was under a death sentence. All the young men that were born to Israelites the young boys born to Israelites were to be put to death. But Moses' mother saw something special in him. And so instead of putting him to death, she went and hid him in a bush and a little small ark, a little small container. She hid him in a bush. And she told his sister, Miriam, stand by the bush, make sure that there are no animals to come and destroy the child. Just watch and see what will happen. And Moses was miraculously saved when Pharaoh's daughter went and she was bathing herself. She went swimming and she saw this child and she knew it was a Hebrew, but she said, somebody go draw him out of that bush, draw him out of that water. And she called for Moses' sister Miriam to do just that. And Moses was brought out of the water, and Moses grew up for 40 years in Pharaoh's house. 40 years in Pharaoh's house. Now, the Mem is water, the Shin, destruction, the Hay means to behold. Behold, he was supposed to be destroyed in the waters, but he was not destroyed in the waters. He was miraculously brought out of the water. The Mem in Hebrew, the gematria of Mem in Hebrew is 40. The gematria of Mem in Hebrew is 40. And if you will look at Moses' life, Moses had 3 stages of 40s in his life. The first 40 years he grew up in Pharaoh's house. The second 40 years he was in the desert. The third 40 years he was in the desert or the wilderness with the children of Israel. Now, Moses had the first 40 in Pharaoh's house, but he knew he was he was a Hebrew, and Moses killed an Egyptian, and Moses had to flee. So when he fled into a wilderness or a desert. He flew into a place where He married a woman and so forth, and he remained there for 40 years, growing up in the wilderness, in the desert, growing up for 40 years as a shepherd now. He went from a prince-like position to a shepherd. And one day, he was on the backside of this desert. And this is where we pick up the story. Exodus chapter 3, verse number 1. Now Moses kept the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the backside of the desert and came to the mountain of God, even to Horeb. And the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush. And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed. And Moses said, I will now turn aside and see this great sight, why this bush is not burnt. And when the Lord saw that he had turned aside to see, God called unto him out of the midst of the bush and said, Moses, Moses. And Moses said, here am I. Now, 6 elements I want to show you in this narrative and in embracing your calling. Number 1, you have to be doing something. Now Moses was in this second 40-year experience of his life. He was doing something. What? He was keeping the flock of his father-in-law Jethro. He was doing something. Number 2, you have to discern that the Most High is speaking. He was on the backside of the desert. He was keeping his father-in-law's flock. And then the Most High began to speak to him. You've got to discern when the Lord is speaking to you while you are busy doing something. While you're busy doing something, the Lord can interrupt your doing something and give you an assignment or call you to something else. Number 3, you have to turn aside. You have to focus. When he knew that the Lord was speaking to him, then he turned aside and he gave full attention to what the Lord was saying. You say, Lord, I'm giving you my full attention in your calling me. I know you're doing something. I sense something is happening at this stage of my life. I know you're doing something, so I'm going to turn aside. Number 4, Yahweh will see that he has your attention. When the Lord saw that Moses had given him his full attention, then the Lord was getting ready to reveal to him his assignment, his calling. You've got to say, Lord, I know you're doing something. I discern that you're speaking to me. I'm giving you my full attention. Now, Lord, speak to me more. Number 5, Yahuwah called him out of the bush. Now, that bush was a strange thing. It was a strange thing. Now, Moses had probably been on that backside of the desert, that part of the desert, 100 times feeding his father-in-law Jethro's flock. But this time, he saw a strange thing. And when you notice something strange is happening, when you feel something is moving, something is happening in your life, you cannot explain it. Hey, do what Moses said in number 6. Moses said in number 6, the 6th thing, Moses replied, here am I. Here am I. Here am I. Here am I, Lord. Here am I. I want to embrace my calling, Lord. Here am I. Well, this is Hemi. Listen, track with me later in this series. We're going to continue this on Moses embracing his calling to help you embrace your calling. All right. God bless you. I'll see you later in the Move of the Spirit.